Hi everyone! Did you know that when you're shopping, the price you see is often set by AI? You will discover the game-changing impact in this episode of CROWCH with George Boretos, AI founder and CEO of FutureUP, a top 50 thought leader in AI and a visionary entrepreneur building the future of price optimization. We are thrilled to have you with us, George.
Happy to be here, and thanks so much for the invitation, Natalie.
With over 25 years in leadership and deep passion for AI, George has seen firsthand how technology shaped the future. George, could you share a decision that truly transformed your life?
Well, there is a decision which was extremely important for me. It's not just AI related, but AI was involved in the decision as well. So it was moving from being a business executive to being an entrepreneur. So my career spans over 3 decades. The first 2 decades, I was a business executive, mostly leading marketing, pricing, and commercial functions. And after 20 years, when I've learned a lot in all these things and how business works, I've decided that I need to do something more innovative, more creative. On top of that, also, because I had created the AI model, a model that I'm still using as a business executive, then to help me in predicting things or optimizing prices and all these things, I wanted to commercialize that. So AI was part of my decision to become a startupper, but obviously that was just one of the many parameters, because to become a startupper, you need to be able or willing to follow a dream, to make some sacrifices, to take risks, and to enter uncharted territories. And entrepreneurship is an uncharted territory, and the same happens with AI. And think about AI before 10 years or before 30 years when I started being involved with that, where nobody was talking about AI. Now everybody loves it. So it's a completely different thing. So I would say that AI was instrumental in my decision to become an entrepreneur. But again, there were many things involved in this decision, not just this.
Yeah, that sounds like a big turning point. And how did you decide to go that way? What were key factors?
I would say freedom, the decision making, innovation, creativity, especially innovation and creativity, because by nature I'm a curious guy. So I want to explore new things and I want to experiment or test new options. And I like the future and whatever is new, modern, technology side, but in other areas as well. So I found out the hard way, but that this is almost impossible to do, to be extremely innovative, I mean, and creative if you're working in an established corporate environment, because by definition it's more mature, difficult to change, and more or less all the rules have been decided. As an innovator or a creative person or a startupper, you need to be able to break the rules because by definition this is what you are expected to do. So I would say that was extremely important and also extremely difficult.
That's super insightful. And for our listeners who might be at the crossroads themselves, what advice would you give about making those big life decisions?
I think that the most important thing is not to stand still, because most people, and I'm not talking just about people who are in the business and they want to become entrepreneurs, I'm talking about everyone who is at a dilemma or a crossroad or something and they have different options. And usually the easy way out is to think about all the difficulties of following a new option, a new job opportunity, startup opportunities or whatever, and we leave this opportunity pass and then perhaps we regret it. I think that you should never stand still. Obviously, we should think about the options carefully, and obviously, there is a logical part in our decision making. But the most important thing, especially if it is a very innovative idea that you are trying to follow, your instincts are the most important factor in your decision making. So you should trust them, definitely, but inform your decision making with other people's opinion. You should hear them out, not obey them, but hear them out in order to understand there are some logical factors that can justify or not your decision. But eventually, don't stand still. Even if you decide to remain at your own company or whatever you are doing right now, Try to reinvent the wheel within the premise that you are operating right now. Don't stand still doing the same thing because your world that surrounds you completely changes almost every year nowadays with AI and other things that are happening. So you should change as well.
Thanks for sharing that. And our next question for you, as an entrepreneur who has launched startups, what the biggest lesson you've learned about turning AI-driven idea into a successful business?
It's that all your initial hypotheses and whatever you had in mind are usually wrong, totally wrong. So you need to be adjusted to this fact that you need to be extremely flexible. One thing that we say, and not just me, all people in the startup community, is that in many cases you need to pivot. So you start with an idea, and perhaps there is a nearby idea which is much, much better and it's a game changer. When you see that, you should be able to change directly and shift your efforts to this new additional idea and pivot. That's extremely important for the success of a startup, not just AI startups, but for AI startups, it applies as well. On top of that, for AI startups, what I find out is that there is something else which is changing completely each and every day. It's the technology framework. I mean, we've seen what happens now with DeepSeek, the new rival of ChatGPT, and within a day, we've seen the AI landscape changing almost completely. So, as an AI startupper, you need to be able to be extremely flexible and understand that whatever you have chosen so far may be destroyed after a few months or even a year or something like that. And you should have contingency plans or the ability to change very, very quickly. I think that's the most important lesson to be to have the endurance and the adaptability and flexibility to change with new circumstances because you will find new circumstances. You will find that you were more times you are wrong than you are right.
Yeah, thank you. And with over 25 years in leadership, you've witnessed AI evolve from a new technology to a game changer. And what's been the most surprising shift? What's it of advice for businesses looking to harness AI and their strategies?
Well, the most surprising thing that happened to AI the past few years, obviously, it's the emergence of the launch of ChatGPT, the version that was launched and went mainstream in November, December 2022, because this changed things for the AI world completely. Before that, I feel that AI was part of an elite. So technology enthusiasts, some visionaries got around AI, and AI systems were usually quite complex and quite expensive. And after the launch of ChatGPT, it became mainstream. So everybody was talking or using or was aware of AI and its capabilities. Also, I was surprised by the capabilities of ChatGPT back then. Now there are numerous, obviously, chatting tools that can do that. But back then, I thought that literally I had an AGI, an artificial general intelligence system in front of me. I was wrong. That was not the case, by the way, but it was so amazing and its behavior was so human-like that I thought that we have achieved eventually AGI. So I think that was an amazing step and it helped us all popularize AI. So when I started my career and when I started my university studies and got involved with AI, nobody was talking about that. And nobody understood exactly what was all about. And now everybody's talking about AI and everybody loves it. This makes all of our AI guys work much, much easier, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. AI is often seen as a disruptor. And what's your take on how AI will impact the future of work and what skills will be essential for the next generation of leaders?
Well, you know what they say. It's all around web, social media, and everything that AI won't replace you, but the person using AI will. And I truly believe that. So, what is going to change? Because definitely something has already changed. and AI can take over of some jobs, especially low-level jobs. We need to understand where we as humans are better and where AI is better. So if we're talking about repetitive, lower-level tasks and things like that that are quite straightforward, then AI is much better than us to perform all these things. So these jobs are at stake right now or in the following years. But if we are talking about more innovative, more creative jobs, things that need creative thinking, all these things are not there, at least not now, in any of the models that we see out there, even the most advanced models from ChatGPT, DeepSeek, or whatever, they don't possess actual creativity. They don't possess the ability to create something out of thin air. They need to be trained on this data set. And because the data set that they are trained on is everything, I mean, whatever people said, thought, written, or whatever, we think that these are geniuses. They are not. They are a big encyclopedia that has an advanced retrieval system, and that's all there is to it. But it's not a system that can create a new theory of physics like Einstein did, or Maxwell, or whoever did, or a great philosopher, or whatever. They cannot do that. And innovation like this is not only for Einstein to do. Every entrepreneur does that. Every business person does that. They take educated risks based on their instincts and their innovation urges. And they succeed frequently, sometimes not, but this is part of the game. AI can do that. So people who can think in a creative way and being more innovative, I think this will be highly successful and more in demand in the years to come. People who are more straightforward, narrow-minded, and involved in repetitive, predictable tasks, in the end, their job will be at stake. So there will be a transition for, I don't know, 5 or 10 years, and we'll see a completely different workforce afterwards.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. As far as I know, commercials rely on the 4P strategy: place, price, product, and promotion. How can AI revolutionize each of these areas? And what advice would you give to businesses looking to integrate AI into their marketing and pricing strategies?
I think we will need at least a couple of hours to answer that because for each and every P of the marketing mix, there is a different AI product methodology approach. But I will try to summarize that in a minute or so. AI it is involved already in all these pieces of the marketing mix puzzle. For instance, in promotion, definitely for targeting, for instance, or improving marketing efforts or things like that. There are systems, there are AI algorithms that can help us channel our efforts better in better customer profiles or types. The same for managing distributors or place, as we say, relationships. The same for product, because there are AI algorithms that help us in discovering new products. For instance, drug discovery. There has been great research in that area, and that's one of the many, many examples out there. I left for last the pricing part because this is my area of specialization, and I think this is one of the most important areas. By the way, Gartner has issued a research piece and article before a couple of years, and they said that from all commercial-oriented AI applications, price optimization is the most valuable and the most feasible technology that exists right now. But we did another survey to understand the penetration of price optimization AI applications in businesses, and it's only 60%. So that means that it's important, the technology is there, it can do wonders to optimize prices and improve profitability. By the way, price is one of the most important profitability driver. But only 1 out of 6, 7 companies take advantage of these technologies. I think that's a pricing paradox, and at the same time, it's also a great opportunity for first movers. Because if you do that and you embrace AI-based price optimization before your competitors, you will gain a huge advantage. And the other way around, if you don't do anything and you are one of the 5 or 6 out of 7 companies that don't do nothing, so your competitors will have a competitive advantage. So many different applications for AI into the different aspects of the marketing mix that are already there. We're not waiting for these technologies to appear in the future. They are there, and most of them are quite mature, and they have a great past record.
Yeah. Okay, that's very interesting because price plays a crucial role in price driven products. But what about the difference between price driven and value driven products? Does this approach work for both?
Actually, it's the same because the essence of a company is what? Is value creation. This is where the innovation comes, product attributes, blah, blah, blah. And value capturing, which is the monetization model and pricing. So value creation is what you offer to your customers through your innovation or whatever. Value capturing is the price and what you get out of your customer. These are connected, obviously. The more value that you offer, the best way that you're communicating your offering, the better and more targeted customer profiles and segments that you are addressing. If all this in place, obviously you can improve your pricing and the other way around. So these two go hand by hand. It's not a different thing. This is why there is an area in pricing, which is a new, not new, it's a many years trend, but anyway, it has become very, very popular in the past 10 years or whatever, which is called value-based pricing. So base your pricing on the value that you actually give to the customer, not the attributes, not the product characteristics, which is your internal view, but the value that the customer derives from these attributes and your product, which is the customer's view. This is the only thing that's important. Value perception from the customer side and your pricing, what you get out of this relationship.
Yeah, yeah, that's very insightful. And how will AI driven pricing reshape the market in the future? Will businesses that embrace AI dominate, or is still there a room for traditional pricing strategies to compete? What do you think about?
The answer is the first one. Companies that will
Yeah.
embrace AI-based and more advanced pricing methods and pricing innovation, because there is a lot of innovation in pricing, will dominate the market. I have a couple of examples from the IT world, which is my world. Before 20 years or so, licensing was perpetual licensing. So you bought the software one-off and you had the possession of the software forever. Now everything is SaaS. Why is that? Because one company called Salesforce.com, the known CRM system, now to everyone, decided that SaaS is a great way to price their products. So they innovated through pricing, and we know what happened. Now they are the leader of this market. Now they're innovating this market again, price-wise, with agent-based pricing. So they're moving away from SaaS, something that they evangelized before 15, 20 years, to an agent-based or pay-per-use sort of new pricing thing. And we'll see what happens because it's still a new play, so we don't know exactly what's going to happen, but we see a lot of pricing innovation from big companies. Pricing power, the ability to increase your prices without losing customers, is the most essential criterion success for a company. Apple has great pricing power, for instance, and it's the most valuable company in the world. Not out of chance. They focus on their pricing and they have premium priced products. So my answer is right now, the status is that most people, most companies don't do lots of things about pricing. They consider it just one thing, a tick in the box for my new product launch or whatever, something that we'll do once and forget it. It's not like that. Companies who will embrace pricing, price innovation, they understand that this is an evolving thing and they will need to do lots of things within the year for the pricing and not just quote it and leave it. It doesn't work like that. And also get involved into AI initiatives to improve their pricing. These companies will thrive and will definitely be very, very well known in the future and perform much, much better than their peers that don't do anything about their pricing. So pricing is key, is essential.
Thank you so much, George, for sharing your incredible insights. This conversation has been truly inspiring with so many valuable takeaways for our audience. We really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Natalie, and I hope that the audience will like the insights, and thank you so much for the opportunity to share them with everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.